Hello and welcome to a step-by-step demo of the Sirona Connect software. There are two ways to access it. There is a linking bridge inside this chairside software that allows you to transfer an open case directly into Sirona Connect. You don't have to manually export and import the scans. This is very helpful when the case dictates a change in plans. For example, let's say you've started a case intending to do Emacs, but because you can't get the reduction Emacs requires, you decide to prescribe another material instead. For example, zirconia or cast gold. After you marginate, go to the top of the screen and click Save, and then click on Sirona Connect. The software will open Sirona Connect and transfer the case into it, and in a few clicks, you'll be able to send it to a Sirona-friendly lab. If you know beforehand that you want to send a case to a Sirona-friendly lab, double-click the Sirona Connect icon on your desktop. The process is very similar to working in Chairside 4.4. Click Add Patient. You're required to enter a last name, first name, and either a date or a patient ID. I'm going to enter test and a ID of just some numbers. The default setting is for a single unit full contour crown, and that's what I want. So I'm going to click tooth number 30. I'm also going to select a material. I'm going to pick zirconia here. I could also pick the final shade and the stump shade, or I could indicate that in my notes at the end. Click the double chevron arrows to move forward. You don't need to pick intra or extraoral mode for scanning. The camera adjusts automatically. So go ahead and take your scans and click the double chevron arrows to move forward. It'll spin, wait for them to correlate automatically, and then verify that the patient was biting down by clicking the Analyze tool and Model Contacts. Look at the pressure mapping on the teeth. If it's only navy blue, the patient wasn't biting down, and you'll want to retake the buccal scan back in acquisition. But I see some contact points here, so that's good. So I'm going to click the double chevron arrows to move forward. I'm going to draw our margin. You're not required to do this. The lab can do it. But why wouldn't you? Who knows the margin better than the doctor who cut them? Make any fine-tuning. There is an optional step for preparation analysis. You can see a color mapping on the distance between the prep and the opposing teeth. To change this setting, go to the top menu and select Configuration, Parameters, Preparation Analysis. I manually typed in 1100 microns. Since I need to allow room for the spacer and the occlusal milling offset, which is about 300, this parameter shows me where I don't have 0.8 millimeters or 800 microns of actual material thickness. Two reasons why a case might be rejected by a lab are issues with the margins, that's why it's a good idea to mark them yourself, or inadequate reduction for the desired material. There just isn't enough thickness. But I'm looking good here, so I'm going to click my arrows to continue forward. I'm going to log on with my password. I could click Remember Password if I didn't want to type it in. Notice the status bar below. The file is being uploaded as you enter the prescription. It's not being sent to the lab at this point. It's being uploaded to Sirona. Once you pick a lab and submit the case, the lab will be notified that there's a case waiting for them. Click Enter Order Data. You have to specify the gender and pick a lab. Optionally, you can also pick a return date, add additional files like photographs, or type in instructions about the shade that you'd like. An important step after clicking Add to Cart. This is very important. You're not done yet. You have to click Submit Cart, or the lab will never be notified that there's a case waiting for them. Review the order and type in your password again. By clicking Commission, the lab will be notified that there's a case waiting for them. If your Sirona Friendly Lab has upgraded to version 15 of the lab software and you're both in the portal, you can communicate with each other via text in a pop-up window up in the top right. But for now, let's leave this window by clicking the X in the top. You'll receive an email confirming that the case has been sent. The lab also gets an email alerting them that there's a case to download. The lab will review the case and either accept it or reject it. Most labs will call you to explain why they can't accept a case before rejecting it. You'll get a second email with their decision.